I was seeing the live yesterday and I didn't saw nothing wrong. And trust me, if I saw something wrong, I'll feel offended because I'm a black person. How come you're trying to insult one of us? But because we are like, okay, maybe Speedy did it, maybe he did not, but let's not touch the subject and let them sort it out outside the app, because I don't understand why she brought the app in the first place if it's something so serious. And then I don't believe that no one here had the right to judge, oh, you're a bad parent because of this, you're a bad parent because of that, or blah, 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 blah. My mother raised everyone in the same way, but it doesn't mean that because I don't do any bad things my brother did, is my mother is a bad mother. No.
Yeah, I agree.
It depends. You don't have any right to judge no one. You don't have no rights to do nothing about parent. You need to close your lips and leave people alone. Don't bring people's family on the app. You are the one who's giving the face on the app. Just stay you on the app. Don't bring people, just family on the app. I think this is ridiculous. And then, of course, I know the people are gonna be against me, but I stand by Luke because I didn't saw nothing wrong. And why? Someone needs to explain me why there is just these specific people on the petition. Why they just some names on the petition? Why not the other people's name? Because there are people that have beef with her. Jamesino, I just don't like that woman since the day that she mistreated Tara. Tara is young. She just called Tara fat. She called Tara whatever. Okay,
Exactly,
she went to.
and that's why the people's on that list. It's because who she's got beef with, and it's like me. I'm Team Speedo all the way. I'm Team Luke all the way. But because she's had beef, she's sat and waited for one little word, and then bang, it's out there. And that's what she's doing, clinging on to any little thing she can because she's fell off the app.
This is so wrong, so wrong. I again, I'm gonna say again, people don't get twisted. I understand Miss 30 because he's a black person, and we are being attacked every single day. Is attack. You can see my name. I have a white person name. My nationality is Portuguese, but of course, when I go to a job interview, people look at me. Oh, you're Portuguese, but your name. I get this every single day, but please don't use the race card on everything. Just be mindful on the words that we are using, because a lot of people fight for us black people be where we are. So let's just argue for things that actually make sense. No people that are being vindictive on this app just because I don't like you, just because you spoke about me on the FYP. Like, for example, there's things that I don't agree with Miss Red, but things that I agree with Miss Red, because there is a lot of people that do some crazy things out there, and I was like, if you don't want to be spoke about, why do you did this live? You know, it doesn't make any sense. For me, I'm so sorry, Miss Red, if I'm gonna insult you. I feel like a gossiper, like a Wendy Williams. You're like a gossiper. You talk about everyone, and people are here. That's why they have like more. You have like 6K here. I didn't saw nothing wrong. I didn't see nothing wrong about what you're saying or what the other or Luke was saying and or Evil Queen is saying. The issue is like some creators, when you talk good about them, they're your best friends. Soon as you call them out and say you're doing something wrong, you're the worst person ever.
That's
because
true.
it's very hard, it's very easy. You have like 5 people watching your life and people like you, yes, you're doing right, and another person do another life. You say, well, hold on, this, but why did this is happen? Why did this is happen? That's why there's a lot of question on TikTok. People like to brainwash people and don't let them think.
That's exactly right. That's what's going on with Swearing Shepherdess. She's trying to brainwash people. Thank you, Barbara, my darling. Thank you
Oh,
very much.
sorry, I was nervous. Let me leave and make my
You,
lunch.
you,
Bye bye, guys. Bye,
you
Pearl.
did
And
amazing.
calm
Thank
down,
you,
Pearl.
Barbara.
Calm down,
Monty.
Pearl.
Yeah, I just wanted to say basically I agreed with, is it Cockapoo and Miss Surtee, but everyone perceives things differently and everyone takes things in their own different way, if you get my drift. I'm sorry, I'm quite nervous because
Don't be nervous. You'll be fine.
yeah, but I would never call myself full black. I have to say that I'm black, not full black.
Yeah.
Yeah, I won't. I would never use that termination, and I just wanted to go back in the day. People did used to use the word half caste. My friend is mixed race, like my best friend, and she used to call herself half caste. But now, obviously, it's politically incorrect to call someone of mixed race half caste,
Yeah.
and it's not a very nice word anyway. I don't think. But I just wanted to say that, and I just wanted to like get in the box because I thought that Miss Certy, like everyone was going at her. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. Thank you, Monty, darling, and
Yeah.
thank you for being
Sorry,
so.
I'm really nervous. But yeah, I'm gonna drop down now. But yeah,
Oh,
and I follow Luke the Judge, and I don't think he said anything wrong.
thank you, my darling.
Okay. All right. Can you kick me
Bye,
out the
love.
box, please?
Bye, love. Oh, bless her. Right, guys, if you want to unmute because we're running out of time, Zach, darling.
Could
So,
I have my
Miss,
say? Oh, sorry.
this is a joke. I really want to say something, and I keep getting shouted over. I've not been given a chance. I've joined the box, and Miss Certy, or Top Boy, whichever one, said, "Oh, fuck off, Evil Queen." Basically, I can't even take you seriously now. Shut up. I was told to shut up, so I'm not allowed to have my point of view. So Luke is a friend of mine, and why should he even apologise if he's caused offence to anyone for saying the word "they"? He didn't offend anybody. Swearing shepherdess is reaching, and that's all I wanted to say before I was screamed down. Thank you, Miss
I agree.
Totally screamed that, darling.
You evil queen, so stop lying, and no one swore at you either. I simply said to you, I can't take you serious, and then you started turning around and being offensive and calling me a
Entitled to
clown.
my
So
opinion.
let's get it correctly. I
You
didn't
wanted
swear
me
at
not
you.
to have an opinion, and I want my
No, I
opinion.
didn't. I
It's
didn't
not
swear at
your
you. I
choice.
said
You've
I said
took up all the air
I
in the
said
room all morning,
can't
and
take
you've had
you
a lot to
serious.
say.
Again,
You've
my
took up
own
every
opinion.
inch of room with your big fat face in this box all morning.
Always turn it into a
See,
slut.
she's just
Her.
rude. She's just rude. It's absolutely
Miss
disgusting.
Fatty.
And everybody
Just shut
sits
up.
here
And you
like
were
it's
rude telling
okay.
me to
She's
shut up.
disrespectful
You
and
were
she's rude.
rude
I
Miss
telling
wasn't
me
Can
to
I
shut
speak,
up.
please? 'Cause if you're running out of time, because I just want to actually put, because you're all on the wrong page. So the video that Luke was talking about, Laura's deflecting from that video. She did a whole live basically. That video was based on me. She did a whole live slagging me off, calling me all sorts of names, talking about my children, talking about my house. All of it. It was disgusting. And the people that saw that live will agree with me that it was vile. And the fact that it's out there now, she's deflecting because she doesn't want people to actually see what she is and how she is. She's horrible. And that live was based on her believing that I sent screenshots to DG and I didn't. I can 100% guarantee that I didn't. So it was all based on a lie, and she switched on me like that. And honestly, I was a mod for her for a year, supported her for 2 years, and the way she switched on me so quick really, really changed my opinion of her. And she wants to know why when people leave and they don't like her, it's because she switches like that so quick. She's got no loyalty, and she's actually a vile, vile person.
Okay, darling. All right. I just want to
And
hear
thank
from
you
her.
for letting me have my say.
No
Thank
problem.
you.
You can stay there if you want, love, because we've got no more time for so everyone just talk. Zach?
Yeah, I just think this is a typical Laura, poisonous as she gets and spinning the narrative. Like it I used one of her sounds on my soundboard because that's what she's known for saying when she goes on a rant, is just to take the piss, just like CLA says booyaka and all of that. And she tried to put me in the category and tried to put that on as me being racist. which is far from it. Like, and people that know me, people have watched me a long time. Do you know what I mean? I'm a massive, huge ally. Like, I wouldn't put up with that shit. And then I just find she picks and chooses when she's offended. Do I think she's offended? No, I don't. I think she's deflecting, and she's trying to gain something that she lost for her own toxic behaviour, you know. And do I think she's bothered? No, she ain't bothered. She's not bothered in the slightest. She just wants to. It's that bully pack mentality, and I've had the most toxic response. Her team I've had the worst hate from out of the whole of TikTok, like homophobia, like stuff said about my mum who's not with me anymore. And then we'll rewind back to the day at TikTok head office. I ignored the woman for the whole day. Yeah, what did she do? She jumped straight in a taxi and starts mouthing off. She is the definition of toxic. She literally is. And it's as well when she's trying to explain why either racism or even tries to explain Black history, she can't do it. Do you know what I mean? So she's ignorant in that sense as well. She has to ring up a family member to explain it. So she's not that passionate and she doesn't give a fuck. She's just doing it to spin a narrative and try and get it in her favour, and it's backfired massively.
I agree with that.
Yeah, I agree.
And I just say one thing, people like DJ calling him a bad parent. So, like, has she offended him by that? Is she going to say sorry for that? He's hurt over that. So, like, when she calls everybody, so is she going
Called
to
me a bad parent and
for hers? Yeah. Hi, Paige.
Sorry, all I wanted to say is, one thing I wanted to say is, I get you all creators. I'm not on no one side. You know me, I couldn't give a shit personally. But I need a lot of people to take their personal experience out of it. So, for instance, the app is toxic itself. I've been on both platforms, yeah. I've been on Zach's platform and Swan Shepherdess's. You both come at each other. I went on your platform the other day, Zach. You had her picture with Sophie Sings His Baby next to it because she was matching it, which I'm sure no one asked for permission for, and you was all slagging each other off. It's fine. It's TikTok. It's toxic and it's a joke. What I don't like is everyone saying about this race card. Whether Laura's using it or not.
What's Sophie's baby got to do with it, though?
Because my point is, in a toxic environment, Sophie just not getting any drama type thing, and her platform might not want that to be added into that, I'm saying. So if we're going to say people are doing this and people are doing that, the whole app's toxic. You both do it against each other, I'm saying. I don't care who does what. That's my thing.
But I'm allowed the right to respond, I don't just do
Yeah,
it for
exactly.
reason.
So is she when you're going... Zach, I'm not going
fucking
back and forth with you, mate. I just want to say my one statement, then I'm dropping. Because my thing was you both go back and forth with each other. That's my point, yeah? So in terms of when I get why people think she's using it as a race card, I'm saying, because of the toxic environment that it's been brought up in. Thank you, baby. But my issue is there's no such thing as a race card. So you see when she might be using it or certain things... Hold on, guys, 1 second.
I kind of think I know where Paige is going.
Sorry, do you know what? It's because I'm babysitting 8 kids as well right now, guys.
Oh, bless your heart.
But stay there, baby. Leave that. So yeah, my thing was take everyone's personal experience out of the equation. The whole race card thing and stuff like this, like. When you do the little tag things like, the blood clot thing, I know you're not racist, okay? I know that, I've spoken to you. But you see what it enables when you've also got a big platform. I've gone into the comments of Laura, and people that aren't you, that are level-minded, that people that aren't other people, are now using, silly little blood clot. All these black people use a blood clot. I've made my own video on it. And then, for instance, the Luke thing, I've spoke to Luke on the phone. I know Luke's not racist, and that was not the terminology that he meant it in. But you see when you slip and say certain things, or I was saying this to Luke, I was like, it's more of the fact that other people now allow themselves to go off the back of it and start using the them terminology, etc., etc. There's a new video going around, I've just seen of DG, where he's constantly for 4 minutes going, pon this, pon that, pon this. I need you to have the same worry and decorum, okay, around black people's culture and language that you do around any other community on the app, because you do not
but why is Laura even allowed to do a whole live slagging
I'm not talking
somebody
about
off?
you,
She
Zach.
gets
I'm talking
away
about the
with it.
comments.
It's not right.
Because you are a creator. Sorry, Lindy, I'm going to drop in a minute because I don't know what your issue was, etc. I'm talking about when you as creators say certain things. I'm talking when I need people, I'm talking about the people that watch the creators, because you guys aren't be able in the comments to back what you're saying with any kind of justification, because you're not on live. So when the people in the comments are now running around going them and pon this, pon that, and blood clot, and it's all white people, it's offensive, and that is subtle racism. You're not saying it in that attempt. You can make a joke, but how do you know that every single person in that comment now?
You mean like the content that they're using it in?
Yeah, they can't explain that because they're in the comments.
Yeah.
So when a black person comes across that, like me, and all I'm seeing is hundreds of white people going, pon this and blood clot that, and oh, you black people this, and them, using that terminology, that's when it starts to get techie, and it starts to make personal situations between two creators. It does bring the race card involved in it then. Because that's when we start to sit there and think, hold on a minute, not only that you've now enabled all basically different races to come into the comments and carry on. I've had a conversation with Luke on the phone. He understood where I was coming from in my point of view. Like, I said to him, I don't think you're racist at all. And clips can be, changed and blah, 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 and all of this stuff. I completely understand that. But my issue was, it's the terminology people are using. You see, when it comes to the LGBTQ community and all these other communities on TikTok, people are so careful with their words. All I'm saying is, I need you not to have that same decorum and respect towards black people. and watch the tones and the certain things that you are saying, because it's not fair. We know that there's been loads of, and this is what I mean. As soon as I come in and I'll say something, it's yawns, yawns, yawns. I've not sat here and cussed off one creator or said one bad thing. All I'm saying to you is, in terms of racism, I'm trying to explain while people like that follow Laura will get upset and annoyed.
Paige, do you think the same thing about when her team sort of saying them sort of words as well?
Yeah, massively. But do you know what I said? I can't say nothing to both of them.
Yeah, they
both
repeat
come at
what
each
she
other though.
says.
Luke's different. The Luke situation, because I've not seen Luke constantly 24/7 go back and forth type thing. Do you see what I'm trying to say? So in this situation where a clip's been edited, then that's a completely different situation to make up someone's race or whatever, how people feel. I spoke to Luke on the phone. What I'm trying to say to you is, when it comes to other people, like when it's like DJ and Laura and Zach and all of you guys go constantly at each other, I'm not saying any on attack is okay. I'm just saying, when you're all going at each other, can we please just be mindful of that you're both representing communities as well. So when you use that, you're mad influential and you know that. So when you're using that blood clot button, it makes me, this is why I had to stop watching your thing so much, because it made me twinge, because all in your comments, you're not realising it, maybe you're not, all of your comments are just mad endorsing certain situations.
But can I just say something, Paige, baby? I agree with what you're saying, love. And, you know, I've got a lot of love and respect for you, right? But it's just a soundboard. So, you know, you got CLA, Roots, Eva Queen, Liar, Zach, Listen. So when Laura's saying blood clot and Pondem and all that, that's Laura's.
No, I get what you're saying. I completely understand what you're saying, but it's not something like Roots. It's not a tag that's been made up, and it's not a liar universal word. Culture. This is actual like Jamaican dialect that you're using, and I'd understand what you're saying, Miss Red, if everyone praised her for saying it, but because Laura's English and Zach said, oh, she doesn't know that much history, which you should never shun a black or white person for, because everyone is learning on a race journey, by the way, because it's an actual dialect. I'm saying, if she was using it in a terminology and everyone was like, yeah, that's cool, that's funny, then fair enough. But she's constantly getting slagged off for it and berated for it. And it only seems to be words like blood clot and stuff. I'm not sticking up for Laura's person. That's what I'm trying to say to everyone. I don't care. I respect many creators on this app. That's not my problem.
Do you know, as a white person, if someone's calling me Jankra, I'm going to mock it and go, what the hell's Jankra? And then it's going to be screen recorded, you know what I mean? So it's coming from here initially to make us question what these things are in the first place. So we're looking bad saying these words, not understanding.
Yeah, fair enough, but that's not the word in title.
Because when DG was going Ponzi app.
You know what blood clot and pond means. You heard black people talk. Many of you heard black people and Jamaican people talk. I'm telling you now, it's when you're mocking dialect, you're okay, your words like that, Evil Queen, cool. If you don't understand an actual word, that's not a common word that people say in the UK. Cool. Of course you can say that. What are you calling me? Blah, blah, blah. But you know what pond means. Everyone knows what blood clot means and bumper clot. You know what it means. And regardless, it's not down to white people to discuss what black person's black enough to say it. That's my point. That was my only thing. So whether people like it or not, it can be seen.
Paige, because she's such a big creator and she's all over TikTok, you know, she's an influencer, right? She's using these words and then people are using these words because she uses these words. Do you get what I'm saying? So, like, and the people that are saying these words don't realise that it would be offensive to the black community.
No, I get that on a mass scale. This is why people think it's using the race card. What I'm trying to say is, Miss Red, I can clock very, very, very easily the ones that are using it to take the piss.
Yeah, but then
it's very clear.
Yeah, but then selective that some people can say it, but other people can't. Like, as long as they're on her team, then they can. It's very selective.
No, anyone can say it. That's what I'm trying to explain to you.
What I'm saying is, she referred to. I mean, the comments will have to confirm it, but to a white person as a Milky Bar.
Yeah, so if that was a discussion then, I'd be saying exactly the same. Everyone knows that I go both ways. Like, I defend equality regardless. It's equality regardless. That's my point. I'm not talking about, when I'm trying to explain this, what I'm trying to say. When I'm trying to explain about Laura, if you watch my video, I even said I'm not running to the girls' defence like Team Laura,
No, you're very fair.
That's my point. So if this was the main topic of discussion about her coming in saying Milky Bar, I'd come in and say exactly the same thing. If she's using that on a daily basis, if she was calling Zach Milky Bar kid every single day, I'd say straight, if we want equality, we can't then turn around and do the same thing back.
Exactly. Paige, baby, do you know what she's posted about Luke, right? Because obviously this is how this all started, where she's specifically picked out the word they. Do you believe that that was intended to start a hate campaign?
What, against the clip?
Do you know the clip on
that she's posted? Yeah. See, the thing is, I don't know if it's because, like I said, the personal thing between
from the actual video,
the actual creators, but when it all came out, because I remember talking about it, and I was like, I'm a bit disappointed in Luke when I first heard it. He then rang me and explained the whole situation. And I was like, that makes sense. Things do get clipped and edited on this app for hate campaigns. We know that, and the hate trails and stuff like that. And I don't think he's racist at all. I spoke to him. I really don't think it's racist. I think his platform is really fair. Where personal vendettas and stuff get involved into it now, maybe she did do a hate campaign. I don't know Laura like that. I don't know her. But my thing is, I was only jumping up to get annoyed because it was the backlash and the deflection after that of people in these comments and stuff saying the things like the race card and blah, 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 blah. You see these kind of things just because Luke may have not been racist in that situation, which he's now clearly defending himself. There's 7k people in this room. I'm saying you lot as in the commenters, so relax, Paula, babe. Calm down, make a cuppa. There's 7k people in this room. Everyone's defending him. Do you know what I mean? So Luke's got a backing. He's good enough guy to get his backing, my point is. But when it comes to racism, we don't get this same sort of situation. Okay, and the same deflection, the same respect in terms of we don't have loads of big black creators to come and back. So even if Laura was in the right, my problem was, and it wasn't a situation that was personal, and there really was racism, my biggest issue is I do not think they would have this kind of creators and this platform for us to be able to do this. This is the thing.
I agree.
Frosty, you're not. I'm sure
But again, it's what she does. She stirs up the pot. She riles up a massive amount of shite, and then where is she now? She starts all that. She drops nuclear bombs, and then she steps back and lets everyone else deal with it. It's like she's just toxic beyond belief. And when it goes back to me using blood clot on the soundboard, you got white Jamaicans, you got Chinese Jamaicans, you got M.R. that's using patois in songs, in bashment songs. He's a white man. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, and I hate it. It's cultural appropriation to the fullest, mate. When you're actually starting to make money and profiting off black culture and you're not black in any way and you're taking the piss, like that M.Dot, I can't stand it. Just because it's a joke. It's all good and fun, but to me, the thing is on this lifestyle as well, you know, not everyone has to take things so deep. If you're an activist for one thing, you don't have to be an activist for everything. So when it comes to racism and stuff like that, I will take it a lot deeper than maybe certain other people will. That's because I've studied it to a higher degree or I've been involved.
Well, we've had decent conversations about it in the past.
That's what I mean. So that's what I mean in terms of how, like, I'm not saying, I don't know her as a person. I'm not saying this person's right, this person's wrong. All I can say in terms of the Luke thing, I spoke to him on the phone. I believe that he meant that in a racist way.
Well,
No way. I don't think he meant it in a racist way whatsoever.
If she hadn't put that video up, no one would have made an issue out of it. No one would have been offended. No one was offended until she was offended because she has that influence. You know, it wouldn't have been.
Yeah, before even that video though, when I heard about it, I was offended when I first heard this. What I mean, because I spoke to Luke about a couple weeks ago on the phone about this now, before she'd actually posted that recently. Because my issue is, like I said, it's what I was saying to Luke on the phone. It's not about, like, if he said it, obviously, which he didn't say it in that time. But, you know, like I'm saying, if you do say something, when you are a big creator, just be careful in how you're coming across. Because it's not you that's racist. It's not him that, you know, is racist. It's some people that watching you that you do not have a clue about that are now spamming pages with, like, so... and it's crazy. Even after doing my video, like some of the comments and stuff that I've got was absolutely wild. But all I'm saying is, in terms of like the blood clot and the ponds and stuff like that, like the DG Decor video, it did really, really grind my teeth. If I turned around, painted my face white, started putting on a bloody vest, had a Stella in my hand, and started calling myself a wife beater every day, and pretending to be a white girl on this app, and using the stereotypes, people would have a massive, massive meltdown. If I pretend to be anyone else in the community,
do you not think that's an action to a reaction? Because she did come at him about his fatherhood. So, like you've just said, tit for tat. So, I can understand as well.
I get that, pal. You know I get that. But you know what it is with me? I don't know, like I said, maybe I expect too much out of people in this situation. But clap back, though, about his parenthood and her parenthood. You don't have to do the pon. That's my thing. He can have... DG's got such a good platform, and he can use his words, and he can do all of this. Do you know what I mean? So he can easily have come back for her 10 times the fold without saying pon 100 times and taking the piss.
Hey, do you know what I now? So much respect.
He didn't mean offence for you. He was only just mimicking. You know, do you get what I'm saying?
Just like mimicking CLA or, you know.
Yeah.
But I think what Paige is trying to say is where we would just be like coming for Laura. In the comments, there'll be like 20 people we wouldn't know were racist, and it would have negative.
No one's painted their face. I feel like we can't compare. I'm sorry, but I feel like that's...
No, not literally. When I say paint my face, I mean I can't do anything to pretend to be white. I'm very much seen as black on the outside.
thought Stella Wife Beater Special was for everybody, every man.
I love a Stella, that's why it's in my name.
I love a Stella too, but that's exactly my point. That's why I'm trying to say stereotypes need to be wiped out. My thing was, I'm not saying anyone should or shouldn't do it. Like I said, I don't think Zach's racist. I don't think Luke's racist. I'm not once said that just because of these videos. I'm not like so pro-black that I'm absolutely like lost in my head type thing. My thing was
very fair, Paige, you are.
yeah, and that's the thing. I only came up with this one because I wanted everyone to go and read the comments, because what you need to understand is that there's other kids and there's other teenagers, creators, people that aren't like, you know, as loud or big as Laura, that can't sit there and read comments like me. And the comments aren't nice, mate. Like, it's not nice at all. So my thing is, if we all want it to be like the same sort of thing, then I just feel like watch what we're saying in terms of terminology and stuff like that.
When we're going to hold her accountable?
Yeah.
Exactly, yeah. I'd like her to be held accountable for that live that she did, because there was actually 5, 6 of them ganging up on me, and I weren't even allowed to have my say. She blocked me.
Did she apologise for calling someone the Milky Bar?
That's what I'm saying. I don't know. I'm not Laura's like manager or mum. I don't know. I'm just saying. I can't make her come anywhere. Why was it even about Laura? Why was to say? I jumped up to say I don't think, number one, like everyone knows what I talk about on this app, so I don't think Luke is racist because of the clip. I don't at all, and I've personally spoke to him, and I do think things get misconstrued, but I just couldn't handle in the comments all this race cards and blah blah blah. I get that people you think can use it to their advantage, and my point is, it's still there in the fact of the first place, so it's not helping when people are consistently going on. It's like giving her a reason almost. Like, if you don't want her to say anything about the race thing, then maybe just stop doing the pon when you're cussing her. Like, if you're gonna come for parenting and stuff like that, then come for her parenting back type thing. Like, you know what I mean? You don't have to constantly just bring that side of it into it.
What about twat?
Lovely. You know I love the swearing dialect. Well, I love the swearing dialect. Like, thank you very much.
Charlie. Oh, Han, you haven't spoken yet. Sorry, Han.
Yeah, no, it's all right, darling. You know what it is, right? I think people are forgetting who this person is and the type of personality and facade that she puts on. She came on a platform, she was kind of given the narrative and built her platform of, I'm somebody who loves the animals, who wants to protect the animals. As soon as she met another creator on the app, used that to spin a situation and make herself look like the victim with no evidence behind her, right? She's now gone on and taken a clip that Luke, who I've spoken to and had so many conversations about, Luke has stood up for so many different issues on this app. Like, let's not forget that, right? She's now taken that clip and made it seem like something that it's not. What if she was a true, and I'm not even, people are going to hate me for saying this, but if she was a true influencer that stood there and said, you know what, I'm an activist, I'm somebody who's going to advocate for the black people, you would message Luke and say, Luke, by the way, what you said in that can have a connotation of a racial slur. She didn't do that. She made a video and she put it up on her platform to make it look like she was clout chasing. I'm sorry. It's her way, another way of Laura trying to latch onto another creator and run them down and tear them down. Exactly. Just like she did Speedo. Yeah. I'm sorry, I've been in race debates. I'm not a creator, I've never pressed live, but I've been in race debates where creators have gone head to head with me and then turn around and said, do you know what, we understand, thank you for educating us. We didn't know that that had a racial undertone. We didn't know that that could offend a black person. Saying they does have a connotation. It does suggest that you're singling us out. It does suggest that there's segregation between the white and black community. But did she go and message Luke or go to anybody that's friends with Luke and said, do you know what, I've seen that and I don't like it, it's distasteful? No. She made a video, she put it up on her platform, yet again trying to chase clout. She fell off, she had everyone come against her because of Speedo, when she knew deep down that no one was going to support her in the first place. I'm so sorry. And now it's just her another way of basically giving herself a name on the platform.
Let's be honest,
I'm sorry.
because Luke said
like a true advocate of black people would not be doing that. I'm so sorry. If you are educated in racism and you want to stand up for the black community, don't go making a video and have 10 million people coming for Luke. I'm sorry. Luke might not even have the education or maybe lack the education for knowing what that meant. You know, he might have said it in a kind of throwaway comment. Do you know what I mean? And the whole point of racism for the white community is education. They need to be taught. Okay, let's not make ignorance a bliss in this app, because I'm sick and tired of seeing creators thinking that, okay, we've said it, but we didn't know. Okay, well then step up and teach that person. Don't make a video and make it seem like this person's racist and tear them down. Like, come on. I don't like the girl. Like, I'm sorry. Like, she's distasteful. She's not a good representative. But as soon as somebody talks about her son in prison and says, oh, but your son did this, your son did that, she's mad defensive.
Yeah.
But you're not going to talk about the racism that's in the criminal justice system. You're not going to sit there and talk about your son's case and say, do you know what? I don't agree with the way the court's dealt with my son's case because of this reason. No, she gets defensive. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's like one rule for one and one rule for others. I don't agree. I'm sorry. Like, I don't agree.
Just on that point, her platform's big enough to raise awareness for a miscarriage of justice. Why doesn't she do it if he's that innocent? Sorry.
Yeah.
She can't.
I mean, I'm not going to comment on innocence or guilt. But I just don't think that if you're somebody who's a black woman on this creator, and there's not a lot of us on this creators that are, you know, that on this app that are black creators that stick up for black people in the community, if she was truly deep down had the intention to stand up and be an advocate and say, I'm going to call out racism, you would message Luke. You would be like, do you know what, Luke? I didn't like that you said this, or at least go on live with him and educate him.
I've been in boxes do battles 24/7 with CLA.
Or you want to jump on Diadro's, and be doing battles there. Like, come on, girl. Like, who's going to take you seriously and who's going to think that you're credible? Like, let's not do that. Let's not pretend that she doesn't jump on Diadro's box battles and battles him and thinks that she's going to stand up and pretend that she's holier than thou. Let's not do that. Like, if you're really going to advocate for the black community, keep that same energy with everybody and come on the app and go on Luke and say, Luke, come request my box. I'm going to tell you why they has a racial connotation, why the black community might find that offensive, intention or no intention. Do you get it? And I'm sure Luke would actually take a stand and be like, do you know what? I'm sorry if I offended the black community. I did not mean it like that. And it won't happen again. There you go. Done. But she didn't. She did it for another way to take it out.
That happens to our kind of people too. To gypsies and travellers. How many times have we called they? So we could jump all over, but we don't take that as a racism thing.
Exactly. Like, let's not do that. I've been in boxes
as well. Racism isn't just about being black and white. Racism is not just racism.
Exactly. It's to erase 100%. 100%.
For example, he comes from the gypsy community. That is a race of people. Being Asian, that is a race of people. Being white is a race of people. Being black is a race of people. The racism doesn't just come into black and white. Like, I'm a pure advocate, not just black and white racism. I'm a pure advocate on racism.
What I'm trying to say there is, I could have took that as something they and said, "Oh, you're talking about."
You hit the nail on the head, my darling.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like, that was silly to take that word.
You know what I can't find?
It's just ridiculous. Sorry, TJ, go on.
That's right. Hannah, I agree with a lot what you say. The only point I can't agree with, and it's not just you in this, I can't see fully how the word they in the context of language is now being deemed as racism and how it's been twisted as that. I know that they, in the English language, in the legal sphere, in the criminal justice sphere, in English language writing, is used as a plural or a third person term. So the fact in what Luke said, he said she and all that sort of stuff, and then continued on to say they, relating to the first word of she. That happens across the board in all sorts of terms. This has now been twisted in terms of racism. This cannot happen. And I get people can feel how they want to feel, but we can't move away from the fact that using general English language now becomes, without context of racism, become racism. That is not, shouldn't be happening.